Hi, I'm Kathy Gardner and
I'm Scott Weaver.
And together we've put together a wonderful compilation of some of our favorite recipes.
Yep, recipes that have been handed down to us from our family members to things that we've discovered over the years we love and our families love as well. And we're hoping you do too.
Everything from New Year's to Christmas. Join us.
Hey, welcome back. This is our 7th chapter, and it's the month of July, and of course, July has the 4th of July, or our Independence Day. And I want to share with you today a recipe that I've loved since I was a kid. Strawberry shortcake. Well, not quite strawberry shortcake. It's red, white, and blue strawberry blueberry shortcake. And it's made with a sweeter biscuit. Very similar to a regular drop biscuit, however, we add a little bit of sugar to it to make it a little bit sweeter, and then we sprinkle on a little bit of sugar at the end right before we put it in the oven. So, here's what you need. You need your flour, you need your baking powder, salt, baking soda, butter, sugar, milk. All the proportions are laid out, and as we go, I'm going to talk about that. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to sift our flour. So I like to put the sifter in the bowl, and we're going to take our 1 cup of flour and our teaspoon of baking powder, our teaspoon of salt, and our teaspoon of baking soda. And what we're going to do is just sift that together. That just helps all the leavening and stuff get mixed through pretty good and takes out any clumps in your flour and just makes things nice and smooth. Okay, so we'll just set that away. And then we bring it over here. And now what you're going to need to add is your butter. And we're going to mix that butter with a pastry knife. Well, it's not really a knife, it's a pastry mixer. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut the butter almost in cubes, not quite. We're going to cut the 6 tablespoons in half, and then we're just going to cut them up in almost cubes like this. Oops. Oh, maybe. Then you're just going to break them apart quickly into your bowl. You want them to stay cold because as it heats in the biscuit itself, you're going to want to be able to let that steam come out, and it helps with making your biscuits really nice and fluffy. Okay, so now you take your pastry and you're just going to grind this up, and you're going to have to help it along every once in a while as you do this. I'm not really sure you can see too well in here, but you'll get the feel of it. You just have to keep pushing your butter through. And what you're trying to do is to get it to eventually come to little pebbles. So you just keep mixing it up, and you just don't want to be too harsh on it, but you want to just keep working it through. You just have to be careful not to hurt yourself on the little wires. But yeah, you just keep doing that until you get nice little balls. And you'll get nice little balls of butter in the flour. And that's good, right there. Now you're going to take the butter, and you're going, the milk, and you're going to put that in, and I like to use a fork. You can use whatever you like, but you just kind of fill it in the well, and it's a cup, and it's going to be really wet and doughy, and that's okay. You just mix it with your fork, and you're going to have clumps of butter, and that's good. That's what you want, little balls of butter inside. And it should be pretty wet, which it is. And now you take your sugar, and you add your sugar, and you mix that in pretty good. do is you're going to drop the biscuits on your cookie sheet that you've put parchment paper on. So you're going to just take a spoonful and just drop about like that. And you're going to fill it up. So I'll just go ahead and do a couple across the top. And you want to leave a little bit of space in between each one. And then you're going to make sure that your oven, and I'm sure you've heard my oven going on and off, is preheated at 450 degrees. Slide it in the middle rack, and it's going to cook 7 to 8 minutes. So around the 3.5, 4 minute mark in my oven, I've got to rotate it so it cooks evenly on all of the biscuits. So I'm going to finish this, put it in the oven, and then we'll be right back to show you about the whipped cream and the blueberries and strawberries. Our wonderful holiday recipes for a family affair, the month of July, and my red, white, and blue blueberry strawberry shortcake. We're ready to go. The biscuits are out of the oven. They look nice. I did remember to put the sugar on, so you need to make sure you do that because I didn't show you, but I did do it. I've cut one because we're going to use it. And the best knife to use when you're cutting these is a nice serrated edge. Okay, and so we're going to use that in a minute. And then strawberries. So I've sliced them ahead of time, taken the caps off, sliced them up, mixed them with just like 2 tablespoons of sugar, maybe a little less because you don't want it overly sweet, or at least I don't. I like it sweet but not too sweet. They were washed and dried, and then all that was done to them. And then I've got about, half a cup of blueberries that we're going to use later. They've been washed and dried as well. And then in my mixer, I've got a pint of whipping cream. And so what you're going to do with that is you're going to make your whipping cream. You're going to separate it out when we're done into 2 different batches. Because when we build this, you'll understand why it's in 2 batches. So what you're going to do is whip it nice, and as it thickens, you're going to turn it up so it thickens. You don't want it to become butter, so you don't want to overdo it. And in a minute, we're going to add a little bit of vanilla and the rest of the sugar. We don't want it too sweet. Now, you can use granulated or powdered. I'm going to use granulated because I'm not using too much. If I was making a bigger batch or I wanted it sweeter, I'd use confectioner's sugar because it's not going to be as grainy. This shouldn't be grainy at all. Okay, so that's looking good to add our vanilla. And another little trick for you, make sure your bowl was in the freezer before you use it to mix in. And then about a teaspoon or so of vanilla. And go ahead and mix that through. And while that's mixing, just dump in that little excess sugar that I have, because I don't want it too terribly sweet. I just want it nice and flavorful. And you can taste it and decide whether it's what you want or not. And I'm going to need these 2 spoons because I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Okay. Oh, nice. So, now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this whipped cream out, not all of it, but some of it. I need enough to do all of those. So that's probably good for right now. Just put that there. Now, you're going to take your blueberries, put those in, and you're just going to whip them in there. And you want them to get whipped in, and hopefully it'll color it a little bit. Nice. Okay. So you can see the blueberries kind of get turned up, right? So let's do this. Let me take this off. Is move some things out of the way. So I'm just going to put these things down below, out of our way. So we don't need them, so they can just go nice down below. Take care of them later. I'm going to take this, and then again, I'm just going to remove this from my tabletop as well. That way you can see what we're doing. All right, so now I've got my blueberry whipped cream with my blueberries on top. And you could have macerated your blueberries if you wanted. I didn't do that because I like the whole blueberry in the bite. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Oops, I need that spoon. Now we're going to move this out of the way, put this over here. And here's how I set it up. This is the one that I cut. So I'm going to take the bottom, and I'm going to take the blueberry, and we're just going to put a dollop inside, like that, right? And then we're going to take our top and kind of offset it, just for pretty, right? And then take another, just a small dollop on top, like that. And I forgot I need my spoon for the strawberries. And then you take a few, strawberries, and you place them on the plate as well. And you can put as many or as little as you like. And I like to put a few around the shortcake as well. And of course you can clean it up if you're doing it for, see, a messy guy here. Come on now. And if you're doing it for, a special event, you'll go through and you'll wipe your plate down, for presentation, right? So I would just pick up my plate and just wipe down the little extras like you see on all those great Food Network shows. And there you have it. It's a red, white, and blue strawberry blueberry shortcake. And of course, I know you don't really see the blue, but the blue is the blueberry. Enjoy. Join us next time.